eye for an eye. But if there is serious injury, you are to take life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Holy Bible and EV, Exodus 21:20, 3:24. The night before Biggie got killed, me and two of my homies, Bubble Up and Uchi, went to the House of Blues on Sunset BOVD to see our Southside homie Davey Wavy, who was Mac's manager. That night they were having a posthumous album release party for Eazy-E, who had passed away the year before. Davey Wavy was up in the very important person section and screamed down when he saw us, "Yo, Keffa your boy Puffy up here." We went up in the very important person section and saw Snoop Dogg, Willie McGinnis, and Lil Blue. They were all from the 20s, or Insanes down in Long Beach. Biggie and Puffy had come into town to promote Biggie's new album, Life After Death. Puffy came over, we greeted each other, and he said, "What's up, dog?" "Just chillin'." There were too many people inside to talk, and we had a lot we needed to talk about. Puffy told me to meet him the next night at a party they were having. Puffy's eyes got wide and his heart had to be racing when he got to the car and saw all three of us sitting in the car with some high-powered straps in our laps. At the Peterson Automotive Museum, once the House of Blues party was over, my homies Bubble Up, Uchi, and I were sitting in front of the venue in a rental car trying to get some bitches. I was sitting in the passenger seat and Uchi was in the back. "There, that nigga Puffy go right there," one of the homies observed. "Who's that he's walking with?" "Is that Vivica Fox?" "Yeah, that's her." If it wasn't, it must have been her identical twin. They were all walking out of the House of Blues together. I yelled out, "What's up, homie?" Puffy turned his head in our direction to see who was calling, and when he saw it was me, he strolled over to the car and came up to the window. Puffy's eyes got wide, and his heart had to be racing when he got to the car and saw all three of us sitting in the car with some high-powered straps in our laps. We were strapped up because our hood was at war with each other. It had gotten dangerous in our hood. 5 of the homies had already lost their lives. You could hit the corner and die. It was that thick. Baby Lane had a bullet stuck in his head and got shot with an AK between both knees during that internal neighborhood feud. It hurt me to see us going against each other like that. Puffy was unaware of all the drama that was going on in our neighborhood, so he was visibly shaken by our menacing presence. Puffy still hadn't paid us any money, so it's probable he thought the straps we were carrying was for him, but they weren't. We had them for our own protection. Puffy bent down at the car window and shared the activities they had planned for the next couple of days. "Men, tomorrow afternoon we're giving a basketball game at Cal State Dominguez Hills. I already told you about the party tomorrow night we're giving at the Peterson Automotive Museum. Then we're going to have a picnic at Spelling's daddy house the following day. Y'all need to come through." When he finished, he nervously backed up out of there. He didn't pay attention to the beautiful women he walked out with. He wisely made sure to keep an extremely watchful eye on us. The next day, a few of us showed up to the basketball game at Cal State Dominguez. Puffy was up there with Missy Elliott. We ran into Corrupt and Daz Dillinger from the Dog Pound, and Snoop Dogg was also there. The only one that was acting like he was a super crip too. Good to fuck with us was Daz. When I went to federal prison, Daz made a song that had subliminal messages in it that I didn't like. As luck would have it, my boy Bubble Up and I ran into the nigga in Compton at one of my homies' weed spots not long after I got out of the feds. "Nigga, you know who we are?" Nah, he responded. "Nigga, I'm Kef D from Southside, nigga." His eyes lit up like silver dollars. He was ready to shit his pants. "What's all that shit you talking? Nigga, you a rapper, you'll get your ass beat the fuck up or hurt real bad talking shit, stupid ass." Man, and I was just brainwashed by Shuge. That's where I was eating. "Nigga, you were eating with the wrong people, bitch." He was scared to death, shaking like Don Knotts. I could look into his eyes and tell he wasn't. Hard. Another case of a rapper who wasn't really about that life, claiming it like he was. VVV. After the basketball game, we arranged to meet Zip at the bar next to the rooftop pool of the Hyatt Hotel on Sunset Boulevard. When we arrived, Zip was already up there with Keyshawn Johnson, the wide receiver for the New York Jets. We met them at the hotel, got fresh, headed out to the Peterson Museum. There was about 15 Southsiders in the party that night having us some fun. Puffy and Biggie were both sitting on thrones and wearing black bebop hats surrounded by buckets of bottles. They were doing it big by then. We had been in the party for about 15 minutes when my phone rang. "What up?" It was my people from Grape Street. "What up, big dog? We down here out front trying to get in." "How many you got with you?" "Hold up, there's 9 of us." "A8, hold tight. Let me see what I can do." I told one of the bad boy bodyguards we needed 9 more tickets, but he was only able to get us 6. When the 6 dudes from Grape Street came in, one of them came over and told me, "Them blood niggas are out." "There, they deep?" I asked. "Not as deep as us." I decided to go back outside to see if I could get the 3 other dudes from Grape Street who were still waiting outside. When I got down there, just like the homie stated, I saw DJ Quick, Theo, the Asian on-air radio personality that used to work for the radio station. Beat. And they were out there with about 8 other blood niggas that I recognized. Somebody must have told Puffy that we were in the building because he came over to where we were and whispered, "Man, the FBI is in the building. They've been following me ever since I've been out here. I don't want y'all catching my heat, so stand down." There was no way I was going to talk to him about anything serious after he told me that. Puffy handed me 2 bottles of Dom P and 1 bottle of Crystal and said, "Y'all have a good time." As Puffy started to turn and walk away, I motioned for Puffy to come in close and I told him, "Y'all be careful, them blood niggas are in here." In particular, there were 2 broads from Death Row that were inside that party that should not have been in there. Their only purpose in that party was to set Puffy and Biggie up. I saw it coming, but the bad boy crew couldn't see it. Puffy told me that the FBI had been following them around. So I guess he thought they were going to be protected by them. Motherfuckers. After Puffy gave us the bottles, we went to one of the corners of the room and threw our own little party. Once we started burning that Cali weed, people began gravitating over to where we were. Janet Jackson, Aaliyah, all kinds of people came over to where we were because they could smell that weed. Ricky Bell from Belle Biv DeVoe followed us around. The whole night, baddest party, like he was from Southside. We had a ball that night. Every superstar football player you can name was at that motherfucker. It was the I motioned for Puffy to come in close and I told him, y'all be careful, them blood niggas are in here. Been to in my life, and we were up in there looking fly. People couldn't look at us and tell we were Crips, because we didn't dress like stereotypical street thugs. I would buy expensive suits, crocodile shoes, all kinds of fly shit. I might fly to New York to have dinner, and on my way back to LA, stop in Cleveland to check on my money. Those black credit cards that celebrities carry cut off after you spend too much money. I know from hanging out with Eazy-E, his shit used to cut off. Meanwhile, I would have $30, $40,000 cash in my pockets. My shit wasn't cutting off, and I'd have $2, $3 million line sitting at home in the closet. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, our crew used to be on the Sunset Strip having a ball damn near every night for 10 years straight. Life on the Strip was popping. The club scene, the Comedy Store, the Century Club on Sunday night, Paradise on Thursday. Britney Spears and them would be up in some of them spots. I believe that if the Kardashian sisters, Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe, and Paris Hilton and them were on the Sunset Strip, I believe that if the Kardashian sisters were on the Sunset Strip back in the day when we were ballin', them bitches would have been with us cause we knew how to ball. Bitches love gangsters, gangbangers. Back in the day when we were ballin', them bitches would have been with us cause we knew how to ball. Bitches love gangsters. In fact, they're addicted. I'm talking about gangsters. I would drink Remy Martin XO in the daytime and Louis Safari, which back then was $1,300 a bottle at night. I had a connect that would bring me cases of it at a discount. I remember one day my wife drunk up my Louis and put some VSOP in the bottle. You're supposed to drink Louis Sherry warm, so I poured a little out and put it in the microwave for 30 seconds so it would go down nice and smooth. After I warmed it up and started drinking it with my pinky out, she said, "Nigga, you drinking VSOP?" One thing I never did get involved with was trying to supply none of them celebrities that used to be on the strip partying. You'd go to jail quick fucking with them. That Sunset shit would get your ass hot with the feds. They'd be up in those clubs. Plus, I was bigger than that. I was selling kilos. I didn't even touch shit. I'd go do the negotiations at the breakfast table, but I never touched shit once the negotiations were done. I'd wait on the money to come in. You couldn't even talk to me cause my crew had me protected. Before long, the fire marshals came and closed the motherfucker down because there were too many people inside. The valet started bringing people their cars. We were still standing there waiting for our vehicles and Biggie came up first. He saw us and rolled down his window. "Man, we at the Beverly Hilton. Y'all come up there with some of that California weed, big dog." Biggie was a cool brother, and he liked smoking that California orange weed. Ben Puff came up, we gave each other dape, and he said, "Don't forget tomorrow we're giving that BBQ at Aaron Spelling's house on Doheny Drive." Biggie pulled off first, then Puff pulled off right behind them and made a right turn. About 3 or 4 minutes later, somebody came running back in our direction screaming, "They shot Biggie, they shot Biggie." I didn't hear any shots because we were under the parking structure. Then my boy Uchi came running back up in there. "Yo, they just smoked." "What?" "Yeah, they just killed Biggie." "Fuck." Biggie was dead 10 minutes later. Officers from LAPD came and started escorting people out of there. Not long after Biggie's killing rumors started swirling that south side, it killed Biggie. That's when Puffy began distancing himself from us. He was likely scared to death, thinking we were going to go after him next. Chillin' with the homies.